List, index and nested list. List within list. What does it mean? In a list, we can just consider like another list. That means you can consider as it is your flat. So your flat is the whole flat, and within your flat you have the one room, suppose we have the 3 BHK room. So we have inside the flat 3 room will be there. That means within a flat room is there. Within a list, the yellow third bracket, you can have a look. Within a list, the pink color is there. That means within a list another list is counted. But when we just check the position, how we can check the position, please have a look. This one is the first position 0. This is the second position. That means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. But this list will be whole list considered as a fifth position. So when we just take the printout LST, then we are just getting this complete output. But if we take the printout of the fifth position, I already told you this inside the list. This list means the purple color, just check the third bracket. This is the total fifth position. So if we want to take the printout of the fifth position, sorry, I have to run the program. So if we want to take the printout of the fifth position, then we can check this total list will come as an output. Now, the question is that within the list, I just want to increase more value. So just remember guys, within the list, this is called the nested list, and in the nested list also, they have their own index. This one is the 0th position, this one 1, this one 2, this one 3. So if we suppose want to check this 30 value, how we can just check and how we can trace this value. So to write down to fetch the nested list, so the first one, list third bracket fifth, that is basically the whole list, the fifth position. Whole list means this is the parent list like a flat. Then within the parent list, if we want to trace, I am just checking the 0th position. 0th position is the 40. First position is the 10. So in this way, we can just trace the nested list elements. Suppose if we want to trace this 10 value, so this is the 0, this is the 1. So if I am just changing the 0 to 1, that is basically the nested list position. If I just print out, then we can see this 10 is coming as an output. So just remember that first third bracket element, that is for the whole list position, and the second one is for the nested list position or the index. Suppose we are just taking an example of the mixing character, or you can see there are list is there, there are strings are there, integer value is there, boolean value is there, mixed character is there. So I just make it inside the list. Then I just want to check the data type, which data type these are. So in this context, just remember I am using the for loop. So what is the loop? Just I'll make some separate video regarding the loop, but initially just remember how we can check the loop. Suppose I just want to go from Howrah to New Delhi. That means I have the one starting point, I have another ending point. How I can go there? Suppose I am just taking the Rajdhani Express. How the Rajdhani Express will be going there from Howrah to New Delhi? So there will be some stations like Asansol, Durgapur, Bihar, Patna, some stations will be there. Via these stations, the train will go. So loop is also doing the same thing. They are just reaching in the every first point, second point, third point, then they can reach in his destination like a train. Like Howrah Express starts, the Rajdhani Express starts from Howrah, then it goes to Asansol, then Durgapur, then Bihar, then Patna, then reach in Delhi, New Delhi. Same thing is loop is happening here. How it works? It works like the same. It has starting point, it has ending point, but from the starting point it will go through every index. That is the basic concept of loop, and I will explain in brief in my loop videos in later on. So in here, just for I in L means these are the article, these are the element of the list that kept inside the L. Then for I means, so inside the I am just taking all the values are here, all the values. So when I just print the type I, then we can see the first is the string, the second one is the integer, third one is the boolean, and what is the complex character? Complex is basically the numeric and alphabetical, everything is mixed. That's why they are giving the complex. And this one basically is a list, so that's why they are giving the list, and this one is the float value, the point value. So that's why they are giving the float value. Now, most interesting thing is that I am using nested list as well. Sorry, nested loop as well. What is nested loop? The first loop in here you can see all the element they are taking inside I, right? They in the L, all the element of the L variable, this L variable they are taking inside the I. So then we are just checking inside the I if double is equal to means it is true or not. They are questioning if there is any list. So inside that I there is another nested list, right? So they are checking in this list. Why? Because they are taking the first all the element of the list, then in the second loop they are checking that nested list which is just kept inside the purple third bracket, then they are just type it the j, that means this particular is area, that is basically not the element, that is basically a list. That's why they are giving the output of that list. First one is the integer, second one integer, third one integer, that one is a string. So that's why they are giving the three integer value, one is the string. But there is a huge concept of the nested list or the nested loop, so these things I'll clear later on when I'll just continue. I'll make some another video of the for loop. Slicing in nested list, how we can slice that? Suppose in the list I have the one list, inside that within purple bracket I am using another nested list. So the how we can check the position, the first position is 0 and this position is the, this total list is position is the 1, and there is no 2 or no 3 position, but we want to check the first position and the second position. We want to take that one, we want to slice that one. So which one is the first position? That list position. And the second position, just remember that guys, the last position always not included. So in here we are just taking that first position, so the output that they are giving 8 9 10. Second position is not there, so there is no meaning of the excluding the second position or the last position. The first position is there, so that's why they are giving this output. In here, slicing nested list, slicing left to right and not right to left. Slicing always goes from left to right, not from right to left. Just remember that, just follow my cursor. Slicing always goes from left to right in one direction. That's it. In here you can see the position of the -5 and the -2. So if we are using the minus, then just remember guys, for the easier way, the from the when we just count the position that from the right side or from the back side, in that time we can just consider that is as a -1, then -2, then -3, -4, -5. This 2 is the -5 position. So they are taking that -5 position till -2. Which one is the -2? This one -1, this -2. That means the 5 will be not included. Before that, all the element will come. The A is coming here and the 4 is coming here. But again, in the slicing time, just remember it goes from left to right. I am just counted from the right hand side just for the index, not the slicing. Slicing basically I am just taking the fifth position, that is 2, and the -2 position, that is the fifth. This one is the -2 position, but this position is not included. So that's why they are giving the output from 2 to till 4. Now nested list for loop. Nested list for loop, that means I am using the one list 1 2 3 1 2 a 4 5, and inside that one nested list used here for 40 and 10. Just remember guys, if we want to add some blank space, how we can write down in the program, in the Python program, the blank space. I'm just taking the list, running one for loop, and then I just print I, then int double is equal to within double inverted comma, if I give the one space, then remember, if I run that program, then you can see all the element there will be added space. They are removing the commas from inside there, and they are just adding the space inside here. And the for loop, sorry, yeah, in the for loop, in the list function, I am using 1 2 a 4 5 40 and 10. This is the nested loop, and I just run one for loop here through I am just taking all the values of the lst, then I just print out the I value, then I just see that all the values that comes in here. Why it comes like within third bracket 40 and 10, I told you this is the like nested list, so they are not separated the nested list, they are just giving the output as it is. List is mutable. What is the dictionary meaning of the mutable? Mutable means that can be changed. So in the list article, there are some articles, there are some apple 1, banana 3 plus 2. These are mixing character, integer is there, mixing is 3 plus 2j, that is the mixing character, 1 is the integer, this one is the string value. So I told you in earlier in the list all the elements that kept accordingly index. The first position is 0th index, second is the first index, this one is the second index. So in the list we just want to change the 0th index, that instead of apple I want to add the orange. So I just write down L0 within third bracket is equal to orange. That means when I just take the printout of the L, that new list it already make it that inside in the apple position that change in the orange, then rest of the things will be remaining same, because I just want to change the 0th position, not all the element. So they are just changing only one position, that 0th position. So they are just updating this value. There are operations with list. There's multiple different kind of the operations that can be done to the list, that is the addition, multiplication, built-in function, and appending list. How it can be done, we will be knowing that when I just run some different kind of the program. Just keep in touch with me till the end of this list video. In the addition of the two list, what is the meaning? Addition means add, jorna, just add it from the backside. In the last time I discussed about the concatenation. So what does it mean? In the concatenation function, we can see I just took an example of the railway. Suppose we have the 10 compartment of the Rajdhani Express. So in the Indian Railway, they are taking the decision that railway compartment took the decision that Rajdhani Express will be going to be 12 compartment. So how they will do that? They will take the 2 compartment and they will add it from the back side. Same thing also happening here. Within list 1, I just use 1 2 3 one list, and then list 2 I am taking 1 2 3 4 two list I took it, and I just took the another variable list 1, and within list 1 I just want to add a list 1 plus a list 2. In this case what they are doing here, you can see 1 2 3 then added 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 then 1 2 3 4. Basically they are just taking the first list then add the second list. That's it. Same thing also happening with the different program. I want to tell you right now the list 1, that value is 1 2 3 1 2 3 4. This one is the list 1 value. Now we want to add backside of the list 2, this list 2 value. Then that means 1 2 3 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 1 2 3 4, that comes as it is. Then the list 2 value is 1 2 3 4, that is included just backside here. So we just take another example of the list 3 and we just make the printout here a list 3. The same function is happening here as well. Multiplication with the scalar. What is the multiplication? Multiplication means that list that comes in here, comes in the multiplication we are using the 5, that means that list comes in the 5 times. Suppose I am just taking an example of the 2 times and I just run the program. This is the list 1 2 3a 1 2 3a, and I am using the multiply into 2. That means this list will be repeat the 2 times. This one is the first time, this one is the second time. If I just multiply with the 3, then we can check this list is included 3rd times. That means they are just multiplying that total list. How many times it will be updated? That will be multiplied 3 4 5th. If you are increasing, then list output will be going to be